All right, guys. I am back again. This is Mr. Gallion. And what we're going to look at today, we've been working on our miniature train. We just finished the train body. We're going to jump down here to the smokestack. The smokestack is one that can be a little tricky if you make it tricky. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to make one. We're going to go ahead and rename this and call this smokestack. And then we're going to go ahead and put that sketch on the front plane. So, what I have found, you are essentially going to make this and revolve it. The way it's made, you are going to make the smokestack. You're going to make this face right here, and then you're going to revolve it and then cut a hole in the top. So if you look at these dimensions, you're going to use all of these dimensions down here to make a smokestack that is solid in the middle. And then you're going to make this hole on top. So what I have a lot of people do, and this is kind of a beginner's, I don't want to call it a beginner's mistake, but here's what a lot of people will do on this, is they will start out, and they're doing a good job here, and somehow I made an arc, and they come back and they go, okay, now I got to go up at an angle and then back at that angle, and they go out, and then they go over, down, over, down, over. All right, so they'll go over, down, over, down, over, and like that. And that'll absolutely work. But you have to do a lot of math. There's no obvious dimensions for the shaft of this hole and this counter bore up top. If you do it that way, you're going to have extra math that you're going to have to do outside of this. So the way I suggest is to take this and go straight up and straight over. And don't do any of this stuff in here. So it should look something like this. You notice I made it. I haven't put any dimensions on it yet, and that's going to be perfectly fine for what we're going to do. I'm going to put the dimensions after I've drawn this. So I like to do the dimensions kind of starting down here and working my way around. Please note, I am going to save this whole note here at the top until the very, very, very end. So let's start with the 0.5. Well, we have a diameter of 0.5. So this part down here that's going to go in the train body has to have a diameter of 0.5 inches. So if I'm only making half of it, then this needs to be 0.25 inches. So we got that. So that's that first dimension used. We come around here. This one tells us the height of this part is 0.25 inches. So we can make that. Now, we're going to go up at the fattest part of this smokestack. At that point, to the very bottom line, it is 1.5 inches. And I want to show you something that a lot of students do to make a mistake. They click, and they start to dimension it this way. I don't want that. I don't want this dimension to be at an angle. If you look at it here, it's not at an angle. It should be straight up and down. We are datum dimensioning here. So that's not what I want. I want to drag it out further. I want to click here, and I want to drag it out. And you'll notice if you drag it out further, it will then go straight up and down. I need that line pointing straight up and down, not at an angle. And it should be, was it 1.5? 1.5 inches. Now, that top edge from the top to the very bottom is 1.75. So again, I'm going to go from here to here, and I don't want any goofy angles. Drag it all the way out here and make it 1.75 inches. Now, I'm going to skip over this degrees just for a split sec. I'm going to look at this. The fattest part of this smokestack has a diameter of 1.25 inches. So what can I do? Well, I can take the fattest part is right here. So here to way over here is 1.25, but I can't dimension that. So I can do from there to there. And it's going to be half of that. So 1.25 divided by 2 gives me that 0.625. Now, I've got everything done except for the degrees and the hole. The degrees is the part that probably causes the most frustration, but it's actually really easy. What it's telling us is this blue line right here. It is 15 degrees away from being vertical. So I don't have a vertical line that I can dimension that to. So what I do, I draw a vertical line right there. Just a line going straight up. You can see it right there. And then I'm going to dimension this to that blue line. Drag it out here, and it's supposed to be 15 degrees as we saw in our dimension. And it makes it 15 degrees. So now I have done everything except for this hole. So now I can finish the check mark there. I can revolve this. So I use my revolve tool. I select the whole thing. It asks for the revolve axis. I select this and I hit my check mark. And it's now giving me my smokestack without a hole. So to put the hole in the top, I'm going to switch to the top view here. I need to put a sketch on the very tippy top with a point. So I use my point tool, just smack dab in the middle. Boom. That's all. Sketch with a point, that's it. Now I get to use my hole tool to make a counter bore hole. So if we look up here, I need a counter bore hole with these dimensions. The shaft needs to be 0.375 and be 1.5 inches deep. And the counter bore needs to be 0.875 and be 0.375 deep. So I select my hole. I make sure I'm on counter bore right here. Counter bore. And then it says sketch points to place the hole. I want to put it on that sketch there in sketch 2. I want the hole to be drilled. And we saw we want it to be 0.375. Okay, so we want 0.375. And I change the, you can change the drill size or you can leave it. It doesn't really matter. I leave it. And the termination, we need to make sure the termination is blind. And then if I look down here, this bottom one gives me the depth. It needs to go 1.5 inches, which it's already set to that. The counter bore is 0.875 in diameter and 0.375 deep. Well, this top one here shows me the diameter, 0.875. And the next one in the middle shows me the depth, 0.375. Once I'm all done, I hit my check mark and you can look, it's made that hole in there just like it's supposed to. Last thing, it says optional to chamfer the bottom edge, 0.01 at 45 degrees. I've never done that because I find that it actually makes it harder to 3D print, but you're more than welcome to chamfer the bottom edge, and there it's already 0.01, and it cuts it just like that. And again, I'm actually going to undo it because it hurts it when I go to 3D print. So there is your smokestack, all done and ready to rock and roll. Thanks, guys.